So, literally, the video was almost fully published up on YouTube, the one that you're about to watch, and something has been rattling in my brain for the longest time, and I'm like, you kept calling it a roguelike, didn't you? And I genuinely don't know why, like, while I was in it. I know, well, kind of know why. It's because obviously there was a rogue DLC for Splatoon 3, and when people first saw this get announced, they assumed it was that, but for some reason, I know it's a looter shooter. I'm playing it as a looter shooter. I fully went into it as a looter shooter. Every single time I said it in the fucking video, I didn't catch myself. So yeah, the rest of the vid now, I suppose. Hello, welcome into the video. A lot of what I'm about to say is going to make it sound like I hate this game. I absolutely don't. I really want to say, well, I'm going to get that out the way right now. There are so many things that I hope they do with the sequel, but and I know obviously it's literally only just came out, but that this is typical Nintendo. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We've finally got a single player Splatoon game that is really, really good, really fun, really enjoying. But there's definitely things that I want, like, so immediately. First up, I honestly think the game kind of looks like a Switch 1.5 game. The HDR doesn't really pop at all. I'm playing this on an OLED that's got absolutely magnificent HDR. I know this for a fact because Star Fox is genuinely one of the most jaw-droppingly beautiful games I've ever seen. This has a haze all around it. And I don't mean the actual fog that the game has, but this has a haze around it. It's like, I think the anti-aliasing is problem, like it's having issues. It looks a little off. The colours look off. Nothing really pops. Nothing's quite as vibrant. It doesn't seem like a Switch 2 game. It really doesn't. Gameplay-wise, really loving the single player. Unless I am very much mistaken, and this is something that I'm kind of learning real time because I'm obviously very early into the game. I finally unlocked the little shack thing that allows you to... Oh, I might be able to... Yes, I am going to do the silliest thing. I know fine well. I've seen people see it. Spiral height, whatever, shards, spira highlight. There. I can barely read. I'll get to that in a minute. So... I know people are saying you need these and don't waste them or anything. But it's an arcade cabinet with 2 games and I like games. I have to get that. I don't care. I will grind if needs be to get those things. But yeah, I finally unlocked the online cabinet thing. I'll definitely be looking at that soon. From everything I'd heard about this game, it was supposed to have a kind of multiplayer, like, Monster Hunter Wilds, where you can drop in and like join people when they send like SOS type things out, like if they need help. I can enter a keyword and I can look at the friends list. That's it. Like, if I create a room, I'm gonna see if this brings up any way to actually recruit players. Oh, I've just kinda messed up with that. I don't imagine dying in the overworld will matter too much, but yeah, like, no one's going to join, obviously, because how can they? I don't have a passcode. So that would be the thing. If it was a case of enter the passcode if you want to lock it and then anyone else can join, I'd understand that. But this is the day this just came out, and I know for a fact there's a lot of people like playing it. Nothing's happening, and there's no way for me to just, join. Like, what the fuck is up with Nintendo? Like, it's 2026, and we still don't have decent matchmaking options at all for one of the... And I know this is supposed to be the single-player Splatoon. I cannot say that fucking word. I get tongue-tied on it so many times. So I might just drop calling it Raiders, even though this is the first Raiders. But I know it's supposed to be the single-player offering, and I'm over the moon with that. But the fact that it's got co-op, and I really at least thought, oh, well, I'll be able to play with randos, because I only know one person with the Switch 2, and I think they're getting the game. I would love to think that I'll at least have one person to be able to fucking play this with, but I only know, like, one person with the Switch 2 at this moment in time, who I'd be able to play with. So, yeah. As for the not being able to read, it's not that I'm announcing I'm illiterate. It's the other thing that would really, really, really love if Nintendo would modernize at any point. You can choose color lock on or off. That might make it easier for some colorblind people, not all colorblind people, because there's so many different kinds. And I think since the PS3, colorblind accessibility has been a hell of a lot better, where you get to choose different. I obviously don't know the names of different color blindness, but you get to go through the different ones for what you require. There's then also the ability to put shapes on things that are in color, so that if you need to differentiate easier, you can have like anything red has triangles on it, anything blue has circles on it, stuff like that. None of that there, obviously. I can change difficulty level, which I genuinely might be doing so, because raider difficulty, I figured I'll try the standard difficulty. The problem is, I don't want to make this into a ridiculous grind of a game, and it does actually say, obviously, it only affects enemy strength, not what you can acquire. So do I want to make things significantly harder and take longer, especially if I need to grind more Spiralite for buying silly purchases like an arcade cabinet? But yeah, you can change difficulty. Control stuff, there isn't much. Once again, I do not like the way that gyro is implemented on Splatoon, because it locks the up and down on the analog. And it's like, I've played other games where they've got gyro on, where you still get the full 360 range on your analog and the gyros to fine tune. And I find it so much easier to be able to aim up and down on the gyro when I can do that. So I hate the fact that, once again, the gyro is exclusively locked to up and down. Yeah, there's no way to make my HUD bigger. There's no way to change the font of the writing for dyslexic friendly fonts, is what I was trying to say. There's no way to change the size of the text. There's no way to change the color of the text. There's no way to put borders or subtitles or anything like that for anything. I mean, obviously there's not much need for subtitles, but subtitles for deaf people aren't just limited to voices in games. So I understand there's no voices here, but having area of effects, like you can hear a salmonade coming to your left type things like that. There's none of that. There's no audio cues at all. There's no visual things. Like, it's 2026 Nintendo. What the fuck? What the absolute fuck? This is ridiculous. But I'm going to actually get on with talking about the game, because there are some positives here. Like, gameplay-wise, plays amazing, plays really fun, really like it. I've already mentioned that looks-wise, I don't like. And the HUD as well. I'd heard people say the HUD, and this is what I mean by some of the hairs. It's like the scratch work and that as well, but the HUD is... yeah. But the actual gameplay, running around, being an Inkling, doing Inkling things, fighting salmonades, the stages and that, like, I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. It is exactly what I wanted it to be from that standpoint, where I can just zone out and chill out and play. I would have loved to have been able to when I've fully finished the campaign, and maybe this is hopium. Maybe I have to finish the campaign to be able to join randos. Maybe that's it. But I would love to have actually finished through the entire campaign and then just jump into random people's games to help them out while I'm grinding Spiralite for myself. A lot of the things that I'd heard about when it comes to gear and the lack of style options, how it's like preset clothing and things. That's maddening. The music being not that great, considering Splatoon music is generally amazing. That's maddening. This is also one of the stingiest unlock games for Amiibo, which is obviously a good thing. I fully do understand locking DLC behind Amiibo is a problem. That's why so many people just buy those cards as well. But the fact that there's, I think, 18 Splatoon Amiibo at this moment in time, without the ones that have just came out for this, and all 18 unlock the same one thing. So at the very least, at least if you've got one lying around, you'll get it. It's like the fishing wader thing. Yeah, like it's one of those. I'm having fun with it. It's definitely limited. I definitely see so much potential that they could... Like, I mean, in an ideal world, and I don't think this is particularly being greedy, because what I'm about to say might really, really, really make Nintendo's day. Make this one of your premium priced games. This needs to be the campaign mode going forward. Like, and I understand that it's not going to happen, especially with this franchise, especially with Nintendo. Splatoon is not their Call of Duty. They see it probably as more than that, and it's why they don't really care about putting a campaign in. But Splatoon 4 if Splatoon 4 had the Raiders campaign like Raiders 2, even if it was just, like, even if you just take a lot of the lessons from this and at least make it into a more campaign thing, this needs to be the kind of campaign style going forward. Now, obviously, this is a roguelike, and I'm not on about, well, to be fair, it's a roguelite, isn't it? I'm not on about doing all of that, like having all of the rogue modes or anything like that, but the actual moment-to-moment gameplay. This is so much fucking better than anything I've done in any of the Splatoon single-player games, in my opinion. I know the third campaign got a lot of love, but this is what I've been after. It really is. Oh, I've just realised as well I should have actually been reading that, because this is my, obviously, first time, and yeah, I did just get a compass, but it's not as if it's anything that's particularly hard to follow through as well. The one thing that I do want to know, and I might as well test it here now, I don't understand when it says, do you want to remember? I'm going to test to see if I actually earn anything, so I need to actually, I guess, check. So I'm on 350 at the moment. Let's just replay the very first mission and see if any of the stuff I get here unlocks, because I assume this is how you grind Spiralite. You just replay missions. But I also don't know if it's that I'm not allowed to do it until the end game, or I unlock specific things for the end game, because that specifically says, do you want to remember? And usually when games do that, it can be weird with the wording, but usually when they do that, it's a case of, like, hey, this is mess around Dream Island Animal Crossing type thing, you know? Just go and have fun. Nothing really matters. I would like to think I'm going to get something from doing this, to be honest, because the gameplay hasn't really changed, at least in the first island here, as expected. Hasn't really changed much. I'm still on pretty much the exact same looking islands, fighting the exact same salmonids. I know it's obviously going to evolve as it goes along. I know one of the things that people complained about so far quite rampantly is that there aren't really any sub-bosses, and that would really spice things up. And I think that's both fair and unfair, because the game does actually tell you when you go up against things that it considers sub-bosses. I don't consider it a sub-boss. I don't even consider it an elite. Like, this is... I understand not everyone will know every terminology and will use different things, but commonly an elite in things like an Elden Ring or a Souls game or anything like that is an enemy that is just basically a bigger, badder one. And sometimes it does get introduced as a boss. Like, it's a mini boss fight type thing, and then the next time you see it, it's not in a boss arena, and it's just the usual thing, and it's one of the elites. That's basically what this does with the big salmonids so far, because I did walk up to one and was immediately told, oh my god, that looks like a boss to me, and I'm like, really? Doesn't look like a boss to me. It doesn't even look anything remotely like a boss to me, personally, but sure enough, I stood, quite literally, stood my ground, and fired, and it died. I'm like, there was literally nothing different to what you've just done. But yeah, there's definitely things that already early on, I know fine well will eventually be grating. This is not the sort of thing that I will put like 100 hours into. It's not a Hades level of rogue, but I can easily see me putting 30 hours into this, and every now and then, if I just want to play the nice gameplay that Splatoon has, I'll just go back and mess about, and I'd like to think they'll add content to it. I would be willing to even pay it as well, like pay for it. It's not a case of I expect everything to be free. Granted, sub-bosses kind of feel like they should be free, I'm not going to lie, but I would gladly pay for DLC for this. But, yeah, I don't think we're going to get accessibility DLC. That I definitely would not be paying for. Like, I want it, but that should be free. It's 2026 Nintendo. Like, I've literally... I bought a bigger monitor, and I'm so glad I did, because I've already been struggling with my eyesight. I don't know if I'd have been able to play this on the old monitor, and it's only a 5-inch difference. With this one, with the console one, I had to go for only a 32. But, like, the big orange writing, that's perfect. No notes. If I could make all of it that size and all of it that colour, I actually think I'd be fine. But I can't. So, yeah. I forgot that the first mission was actually a tutorial thing and was going to make me do it. Which, to be fair, I'm glad I'm now saying this, because it's not just me. I am holding or pushing LNR, like... What? It says fire ink. Where's the ink? I'm doing little cyclone things. Is that what it's considering ink? But that was just one of those that I noticed at the first time, and I'm not going to lie, after that I actually switched over, because a character whose name I already don't know, Shiva, thank you, Shiva has a shark, and it's just like, it's amazing. And apologies if that comes off as a spoiler, that you will find that out, I think, as soon as Mission 2 in the game. But yeah, I'm going to play this. I'm going to enjoy this. I would love to find people to be able to play it with. Like, if only there was some sort of function that existed in modern day gaming. Like a matchmake, like a making of a match. And, you know, that I'd also love to be able to read and see the screen a bit more. And change the size of my HUD and everything. Like, yeah. I know I've mentioned it a lot, but it really is worth repeating. There's going to be a video that goes up around this, because I'd already recorded it, where I mentioned that it annoys me how people complain about Nintendo with things that aren't really that valid. This is one of those that this is the valid one. I wish more people would complain about this, like, blatant lack of accessibility in their games, because it's fucking ridiculous at this point. And the worst part is, it's like, okay, I know I'm about to do an analogy that people will really hate. It's like when you have bigots out there who go, well, we shouldn't be discussing queerness with children, despite, hi, I was a queer child. It's like Nintendo have thought, well, we make our games for kids. Kids can't be disabled. Hi, I was a disabled child too. Like, what's the excuse, Nintendo? Where's the lack of accessibility? I'm not after Naughty Dog levels of accessibility, just the basics. Like, the basics really are the basics for a reason, you know? All of the bells and whistles will be nice, but just the basics for now will do. Anyway, with that's what I mean. I feel like I'm going to be shitting on the game, and it's going to come off like I'm hating it. No, I do like it. I just would like to see a Switch 2 version, because still, don't understand. I mean, it runs fantastic. Maybe it wouldn't have ran great on the Switch one, but seriously, it's like a 1.5 game to me. And what I mean by that is, easiest way to explain it, I'm trying to think of one. Well, holy shit, yeah, literally Splatoon 3. It doesn't have a Switch 2 version, but they did just do a patch for it, so that if you're running it on a Switch 2, you'll have it better. That's what I mean, it feels like a 1.5. Right. I guess I should, like, kind of skip through this, because I did say I'd find out, and this might be information that I wouldn't want to be in that thing of, as much as I'm not trying to elongate the video out or anything like that. But if you are someone who was watching and going, well, actually, I'd really like to know as well if I get crystals for replaying this. So we were on 350, and do I actually get any of these new rewards as well? So, well, immediately if we're not up to 450. So we just earned 287 apparently. Yep. Perfect. That's what I was hoping for. But the sad part is, because it's Nintendo, you can never guarantee. Because why would you ever guarantee that there's, like, you know, a thing that you would assume would be online? So yeah, that's what I mean. Hey, that's the big shock. Right. You won't see this, because I am not going to go try this, but as long as these are only minor, like, this is the sort of thing I have said for decades should be in games, and I would actually pay for actual licensing. If you allow me to have things like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, like classic arcade games in matchmaking lobbies, again, not that there's any matchmaking, but I assume that's what these are here for. I assume this is a lobby thing, so that if you're waiting for your friends to go on to the next thing, you've got something to do. Let me play actual games, especially Nintendo. You have that. Just, like, link that into games like this and let me fucking play Mario. You know, like, that would be the dream. Because the amount of times that I will spend waiting for people on any form of online game, like Borderlands, while they sort loot inventory out, fucking Monster Hunter Wilds, anything like that, I will be stuck waiting with nothing to fucking do. Give me the option to play a game inside your game. I beg of you, devs. Like, let us do that. Right, anyway, bye. So I realised as soon as I ended the video that I forgot the usual. So I did actually immediately start it up again and record literally just a 9-second outro with the usual. I'll still use it because I've already made one cut, so I might as well. There's no way to turn the music off. The music that I was complaining earlier that's really bad. I can't even literally turn the music off. It's not even so much bad, it's just generic and boring and bland and forgettable, and I'm sitting here thinking, I'd much rather actually put music on that I really like listening to, and I can do podcasts while I've got music on, because as long as the music doesn't have lyrics, the way my brain works, especially with the whole autism and too many people talking type thing, it gives me a severely bad fucking headache, so I can't have someone talking and listen to something with lyrics at the same time, so I just, like, put, this is when I would use the Nintendo Music app, funnily enough, or put whatever music I want on, but there's no way to turn the music off. I have to just, like, mute the entire thing, and the only way I can do that, this is one of those times where it's actually really good that I do play this on a fucking capture card, because I basically need to mute the capture card. That's the only way I can fucking play this without music. And the problem is, I like the sound effects. And it's not like so much that I like them, it's in a game like this, where there's so much like noise going on with visual noise and everything, which another reason why some accessibility features will be fucking brilliant. It's sometimes good to be able to hear where the enemies are coming from. And I can't just have the sound effects on and turn the music off. It's even worse. I really do not understand how the multiplayer is supposed to work. I can call for help directly on the mission. I saw it, I realised, hang on a second, so the call for help's there. It's not the thing that I've just been complaining about, the machine over there. There's no way to, like, why can't I just join people? If you can call for help, there has to be a join, right? Where? Why? Like, how? I can't see it anywhere. There's just, this makes no fucking sense. Either I'm just completely missing something. Like, I'll be honest, I haven't actually tried to call for help, and the main reason I haven't is because it says that you can only do it once per certain amount of time, which is why, personally, I am the kind of person, I'll grind a mission out myself. This one over here, I was kind of being stubborn, and then I had the thing in my brain, remember, oh yeah, you're supposed to actually change playstyles at some point if you're struggling with something. So I literally changed up the weapon and the tank I was using and did it first time after, but I'd failed a couple of times. But I didn't want to use my help on it, because I thought I'd rather just grind it out myself. And then that's the mission where I'm like, you know what? Other people might actually be struggling. They might be calling for help. Where's join? So, I don't know if I'm supposed to actually click call for help. And seeing as I've already beat this one with one of the other classes, I think I'm going to do it. And I'm going to see if this now gives me... So, connect to the internet. If a helper is found... in multiplayer, if you feel that there's no like I figured maybe this would open up another menu and I'd be able to click on it. Yeah, matchmaking, and I can stop the matchmaking. How the fuck do you join people on this game? Because if I'd actually, I mean, there must be some way, but if I'd sent that out, is it seriously that I can only do it at the very end of the fucking game or something? I can go and help people then? So would I just be sitting here waiting the entire time, wondering why no one's matchmaking on the launch day or something like that? I don't understand this. I really fucking don't. I have obviously played a lot more of it now, by the way. I've, like, tried all 3 of the tanks out. I've got a slight build for each of them. The game truly is brilliant. It's just maddening with certain things. It feels incomplete. It really fucking does. I don't understand how you can be lacking so many basic fucking options. Not just the accessibility. That, unfortunately, for a lot of developers, is seen as the extra mile. It shouldn't be, because, again, a lot of disabled people play games. It really shouldn't be going the extra mile, but that tends to be seen as the extra mile. But not being able to turn my audio, like, tweak sound effects versus music, like, what the fuck? It just doesn't feel finished. It really doesn't. It's like, it feels like an indie game, except even then I've played indie games with more accessible fucking features. Because I was going to say, it feels like one of those indie games that's in early access where the gameplay's great, and then they need feedback for what they're going to fix, you know, what they need to add, what option stuff they need to do. Because the gameplay part really is brilliant. I don't understand this. I really don't. Right, anyway. Now for the 9-second outro that I recorded. Yes, I caught it the moment I did it. I've been so used to just doing additions at the end. I truly do hope you have a great rest of your day. I've been Sky Fellowship. Bye.